Good afternoon, everyone. We're here with Courtney and Heather from the Learning Hub, and we're going to discuss what they offer at the learninghub.ca. And Courtney will do the presenting today, and Heather, you can jump in whenever you need to. Welcome.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jen. I'm Courtney Brown with the Centers for Employment and Learning of the Ava-Maitland District School Board, and with my colleague Heather Robinet and myself, we are the program coordinators for the Learning Hub, which is the online literacy and basic skills upgrading program for the province of Ontario for the Anglophone stream. So we do serve adults across Ontario who want to upgrade their skills online in the English language. And our program, as I mentioned, is offered by the Centers for Employment and Learning, if you're familiar with those. We have 5 sites in Huron County and 2 in Perth County in southwestern Ontario. Our program is funded by the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities, and the program is free of charge to adults who have Ontario residency and qualify for LBS upgrading. So there's no charge for our services. So we provide upgrading for the 5 LBS goal paths: employment, post-secondary education, secondary school credits, apprenticeship, and independence. So clients coming into our programs with needs along those goal paths are provided training specific and customized to their upgrading goals depending on what they're looking to improve their skills for. So we do have curriculum that's tailored specifically for each goal path, and every learner plan is customized. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. So we have 3 modes of study for our online program. Live classes are scheduled for a specific date and time. They're offered on the SABA meeting platform, which is hosted by Contact North. The live classes are popular with learners who prefer to work in a group and get immediate feedback from an instructor. So we do 3-month scheduling at a time. Our spring schedule for April, May, and June is available on our website, so clients can register for up to 5 classes at a time. And if they're registered with our program, they can add classes as they go along depending on what their goals are and if depending on the types of classes that are available. We run through pretty much the same schedule 3 times a year: fall, winter, and spring. We don't schedule live classes over July and August due to attendance. People tend to find themselves busier during those months in our region, so that's why we limit those classes to the other months of the year. So we do require a little bit of lead time for someone who wants to sign up. We do recommend a week's notice to get registered and get signed up for the classes, but we have been known to get clients registered and enrolled on shorter notice than that if the need arises. Some of the LBS programs across Ontario have had some success in doing group sessions for the live classes as well. So if they have a classroom of clients that want to participate in a class, they can log in a computer lab setting with support, or they can certainly participate from home depending on what their personal preference is. Our independent study program, our curriculum is available 24/7, 365. So it's available 12 months of the year, and it's anytime study. After registering for the program, there are some goal setting and intake assessment activities that are completed, and then once a learner is engaged in the program and set up with their mentor, they can access their lessons at any time of day that suits their schedule. If they're working or they have kids and they want to participate in the evenings, that's certainly no problem, and our practitioners are available to email them usually within a couple days or so if they have any questions or technical issues that they encounter. So the independent study is popular with those who want to work on their own, at their own pace, and with support and encouragement from an instructor. So it's more of a one-to-one setting, whereas the live classes is a group of learners and a practitioner facilitating the material. So that's the main difference between those two modes of study. And finally, we have our short courses, which are offered on the Moodle platform, if you're familiar with that. They're also available the same format as the independent study, so this is a piece of our independent study programming. So available 24/7, 365, and they're really popular for those who like to work independently at their own pace, but within a structured time frame. So these classes are roughly 5 modules of study. It's recommended that a learner will work through 1 module per week or more. They can certainly fast track if they choose. And we have launched quite a number of new short courses in the last few months. A few to name off the top of my head, and Heather, you can jump in. We've had a customer service essentials course. We've had feeding a family.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Employment preparation. There's a number that have been created specifically to address employment needs as well. So we really recommend that you take a look at our catalog to see what's up.
Yeah.
What's new.
Great. We have quite a few courses that are a nice stepping stone for learners who are preparing for post-secondary as well. So they're fairly specific in content. They cover a lot of soft skills, which can be difficult to do online as well. So they're a neat feature. They are detailed. Course descriptions are detailed in our course catalog, and we are launching new courses every term. So this is certainly an area that has picked up, and the learners really enjoy them. They like the immediate feedback. They like getting the certificate at the end of completing the course, and having that piece of success that they can walk away with and something to put on their resume or help do some self-marketing with. So they're really popular.
Are there time limits on these courses?
The live classes are scheduled for typically the 2 hours of duration, and the independent study, we recommend that clients work roughly 3 hours a week, 3 to 5 hours a week, to demonstrate progress to meet their goals. And with the short courses, we like to see the clients work through them in 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the course that they register for. So our registration process is a 3-step process. We have an online registration form that can be completed at any time, and following the receipt of that information, we do send out an intake assessment, which takes 15 to 20 minutes to complete, depending on how much the learner wants to share with us. And then based on the results of the intake assessment, the learner is assigned to a practitioner who then goes and dives into further goal setting and learner plan development with them. So it's very individualized and customized depending on what they're looking for. And sometimes learners will register for a specific class, but other needs are identified through the intake and assessment process, so we can recommend other types of study that we feel would benefit and contribute to their end goal. So in all, it takes roughly 3 to 5 business days to get started, usually less depending on how motivated the learner is. If we don't hear from somebody for a couple weeks after registration, we follow up and make sure that the email didn't go to their junk mail, or see if they had any questions or concerns with the assessment, and go from there. So our different types of study, we do offer blended delivery and purely online delivery depending on what the client wants. So any learners who are participating in an in-person LBS classroom and want to supplement their upgrading with the LearningHUB, it could be for a variety of reasons. They just want to do more work every week than their classroom can provide based on time restrictions or classroom hours, or it could be that we do have some really dynamic courses that they want to tap into and access. They can certainly be part of both programs. There are no restrictions there, and we do a good job at connecting our online literacy practitioners with the classroom practitioner. It's actually a piece of information that's collected on the registration form if they're in a supported classroom. So we like to foster those shared relationships right up front to best support the client as best we can. And of course we share any assessments and milestones that happen either through the e-channel delivery with the Learning Hub or in person in the classroom. So certainly not looking to reinvent any wheels, or if specific assessments or other types of intake goal-setting activities have happened where we don't require the learner to go through it more than once, because that information can be shared across programs. So the learner plan is also shared, and between the two programs it's to be complementary. So if the learner's working on math, for example, and they want to come to us to do some division work, then we can kind of pick up, and then the classroom practitioner can pick up when they've completed their upgrading with us as well. So learners are often referred back and forth or can consistently be part of both programs. It's totally their choice. So as I mentioned earlier, each learner plan is individualized and personal to the learner's goals. We like to include the classroom practitioners in correspondence with learners, keep them abreast of any updates or changes with their learner plan or achievements with milestones, and vice versa. All of our learner plans are driven by the assessment results and the goal-setting activities, and the learner commitment piece is really important. If we have a learner who registers with us and they want to complete a goal in the next 6 weeks, we will really connect with them and make sure that they know we're here and push them along towards those goals. And if they decide that other things take precedence or they don't have time for their online upgrading, they're welcome to exit and then rejoin the program when it's available or when their schedule allows. We do see that sometimes with seasonal work or whatever. So once they're out, they're not necessarily gone forever. We do welcome clients back when their schedule permits, if they're not able to meet our attendance requirements for any particular reason. So the learner plans outline the learning activities and what those timelines are for how long they should be working towards an activity. And then if it needs adjusted, we can do that along the way as well. We do our milestone targets through the learner plan, so the learner knows what they're working towards, what subjects they're working towards at all times. It is online in our secure learner portal, so the learner has access to log in and they can share that with their classroom practitioner if they're a blended learner as well. It's personalized. We don't share that with anybody else, so that is available at the learner's request through our website. And then everything that they achieve and when it's achieved is recorded there as well. So no personal comments or anything like that, just the learning activities that they're working on and the timelines attached to them and whether they were successful or not in completing. We have a number of avenues for technical support, and with online learning, I think we all have encountered that at some point in time. I talked a little bit about the one-to-one mentoring, so every learner who comes into our program is matched with an online practitioner who carries a caseload of between 50 and 75 students or learners depending on the time of year and the number of hours they work. So that one-to-one relationship is established up front. They have a connection that they can go to if they have any issues with logging into their learning platforms or launching any of the applications, or if they come across some technical issues during a lesson. They can contact their practitioner, and if they need further tech support, we do have a tech support wing of our program. We have 2 technical practitioners, Pete and Eileen, who will do remote sessions or log me in sessions with learners if we have their consent to do that, to go in, to access their computer, see if it's a browser issue or see if it's a pop-up issue. So there's a lot of hand-holding and a lot of support available if the learners need it. We also refer our clients to other programs and services. to contribute to the overall Employment Ontario vision, making sure that they have all the community supports and employment supports in place if those do fit their goals or their needs. And our practitioners are some, and eventually all, will be on the different social media channels. Our practitioners have started setting up personal Facebook accounts, and we've seen great success with that. We're trying our best to reach out and connect with our learners where they live and where they are online, so to speak. So we're finding that email is good, but if they're on Facebook, that's where we want to be too. So we've seen a lot of great support with that. We have our own Twitter account and Facebook account for the Learning Hub, so promoting our current scheduling and upcoming classes. So that happens on a weekly basis. If you're not following those feeds, you can certainly find us on Facebook and Twitter and stay connected with us that way. We have a newsletter that we issue every 2 or 3 months, and if you're interested in being on that distribution list, I can send you the information about that, or maybe Jen can connect you if you want more information about that at any time.
I certainly can.
So that's all we have for the formal part. We'll open it up to Q&A, and if Heather has anything else to add, I'll turn the mic over to her.
I guess just, Courtney, I meant to speak up earlier, but found that I had muted myself, so was talking to nobody. So just the question that was asked earlier about the number of hours for short courses. We had mentioned that we like to see the learners complete the courses in 4 to 6 weeks, but we do make special accommodation for those learners who maybe are having some difficulty either understanding the content of the short course or understanding the technology involved. So that is something that can be worked out between the learner and their assigned online teachers if they need additional time to complete.
That's great. Does anyone else have any questions? If you do, you can put it in the chat section on the sidebar. We don't have any at this time. Was there anything else you'd like to add, Heather or Courtney?
Maybe
Nothing.
at this time just add that, sorry Courtney,
No, go
I was
ahead.
just going to say that, you know, if someone is a practitioner with a program and they want to maybe try some group sessions, or they want to discuss ways that they can use the Learning Hub with their clients or their learners, we're certainly open to discussions around that where we can customize the delivery to what works for your program. We're always looking to pilot a new way of delivering the Learning Hub, or even coordinating our assessments and our milestones. That's certainly one of the big challenges for us, is to figure out how we can work together to serve the learner without duplication of services. So we are definitely open to any suggestions or discussions about how we can work together to serve the learner's needs.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, I think at this point, if there are no other questions and or comments, we can finish our little coffee break here. And if anyone needs contact information for Courtney or Heather, they can contact me at QUILL, or they can go on to learninghub.ca, and I'm sure you can connect quite easily there. Thank you, Courtney and Heather, for joining us today. And just to let everyone know, this will be published on the website quillnetwork.ca, as well as our YouTube channel, and we'll be posting it to Facebook as well, so that you can share it with your colleagues. Thank you again for joining us today.
Great. Thanks for having us, Jen.
Thank you.
Okay.